Check, check. 1, 2. Let's see if I'm going to be live now. Because I can't tell. Check, check. 1. Check, check. Well, that's that. Check 1. Output volume is there. So, okay. Well, I don't know. Let's find out. Ah, I'm live. Okay, I'm live. All right. Well, that only took an extra 22 fucking minutes. I don't know. So I'm the only one here. This is more of a test for the first run of a series that I'm going to do. Basically, yeah, about 9:30 to 10-ish o'clock, I'm gonna do a thing where I get online, chat. Anybody wants to come in, hang out, whatever. Right now, I'm trying it through YouTube first because Facebook was being stupid tonight. So maybe I'll move it to Facebook later at some point. But anyway, the idea is this: I am basically not working or out of work for the next 30 days due to various things. Furlough from work, which dovetails kind of into the holiday, which just sort of turned into will have turned into 30 days of not working, at least not working my regular job, put it that way. And as much as I am actually kind of grateful for the time off, I'd like to try to make it somewhat productive if in some way. And potentially entertaining. Maybe I'll do some songs here or there, or if people are so inclined. Otherwise, just chatting. People want to come up and chat. Maybe down the road do a Zoom version of it. Have special guests and things. Kind of almost like a little 30-day radio show as a teaser potentially. It's funny, the past with COVID, and the lockdowns and doing all the Zoom stuff, and even though I was basically at work, for the past semester, a lot of online work from work, and what's interesting is that I've had a number of people comment on my voice. I mean, I'm a singer, so it's not like that's unusual. However, but it's most like this isn't for singing. It's for just talking. Now, I myself find that I get tired of my voice, my talking voice, and I gotta wonder to what degree other people are tired of it as well, especially at work. But people have said, "Oh, you have a great voice for radio." It's like, "Oh, I do? Oh, okay." I mean, I've always had that. I think probably most people have had that secret desire to have some sort of a radio show or something like that. And hey, I'm not getting any younger, and my kneeling and wiring days are slowly drawing to a grisly close. Cortisone shots to the knees that will make it so that I can walk around like a human being while I'm doing work, and not a lot of events to set up PAs for and stuff. So there you go. And I miss not doing it on the one hand. On the other hand, I certainly don't miss hoisting speakers over my head. So anyway, long story short, I think going forward, I think I want to try to use December as some sort of a jumping off point potentially for something, anything. I don't know. I mean, I got projects I wanna work on, recording projects that I wanna finish. I've got some other client work for production stuff and this and that. So that's all good. I just want to, you know, there will clearly be plenty of time for me to sit on my ass and watch stupid television and cuddle with the cat and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I'm going to be home for 30 days, so I'll be forced to um, look at a few things around the house that are falling apart or that need repair or whatever it might be, or just need some attention. Which on my regular work day doesn't really permit that. By the time I get out of work on the weekend, I'm usually pretty beat, so I don't get a lot of work done. Um, so I don't expect much, like I said, but the idea is that basically every night at around 9:30, 10, depending, whatever. Obviously I'll set it up. I'll send missives out uh, on Instagram and Facebook that I'm going to do this, and then people can come in or not. I don't care. Um, you know, come in and chat or not. Like I said, there comes a point where I just want to kind of exercise a little bit the potential for something maybe down the road. Uh, if not a radio show, potentially voiceover work or something like that. That I could do that from home. I can record and edit that stuff from home. So it's a one stop shop really. So just putting it out there. I can use this as um, I can use this as a resume as well. Uh, Anybody particularly interested in what my voice might have to offer on a radio show or reading books and I might even do a little bit of that just for shits and giggles. I might just like read some poetry or a book excerpt or an article or something like that. I don't know. Or I may just pick a topic every night of something to do, whether maybe look at some of my record collection and just spout off about that, or you know, talk to maybe some of the folks I've been working with in the past, you know, for 30 years, 30 years. Yeah. Um, well, more than that now. It's at this point, it's like 35 years. Um, so, stuff like that. Just a kind of an all encompassing whatever. I know one thing that has certainly inspired me uh, is listening to the Firesign Theater, and it's a box set that was put together about 10 years ago now of all of their radio work for um, the Firesign Theater Hour show, Dear Friends, and Let's Eat, as well as a bunch of periphery stuff. And then separately, I have files of their Fools in Space radio program, and then they were kind of slowly sounding like they were going to do something else called Talking Over Each Other, and there was a few little instances that were recorded, and one final 2 hour long banter with all of them on the West Coast. That sounded like it was a real promising potential, but it ended up being the very last thing that all four of them did before Peter Bergman died. So that was the last time they were all on radio. Anyway, so long story short, I find that stuff not only comforting but inspiring, and one of the things that got me interested in the speaking voice or the singing voice or the voice in general. Um, I think that for me, the human voice is potentially the only saving grace of the species. um, you know, physical musical abilities notwithstanding, like great instrumentalists or whatever. Um, I think that the human voice has a quality that I think is the one thing that we, I don't know, tend to miss or just sort of, I don't know, don't really think about. I don't know. I mean, the Native Americans did, you know, they told stories. There was the storytellers that uh, taught languages, taught the language, and handed down the stories from generation to generation. And the only way they could do it is with their voice. So I think that tradition in mind. Not that I feel like I'm any great sage that's going to partake, you know, give out some wise anything to anyone. I'm not that. I'm not really that egotistical anymore. Used to be, but hey, like I said, if someone's interested or not, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just here to kind of fart around and you know fill up some of my day. Kind of maybe almost like a little bit of a diary, so to speak, of the things that are going on, especially the December 2020, which is the end of a very very difficult year for a lot of people, obviously. Um, you know, I figure like a 30-day sort of intro to this on a daily basis just to see what potential could happen. Um, but just to kind of really get a sense of like, okay, we're at the end of this horrific fucking year. And it hasn't stopped. It's definitely gotten more relentless, if anything, with more COVID deaths and just death in general, and just hearing bad news here and there. I don't want to dwell on that. Obviously, I mean it's there. It's part of the day. If this is going to be a mini diary of my day along with other things, well, maybe that's part of it. Maybe I do a very specific kind of thing where I do 10 minutes of where I do nothing but okay, what was my day like? Um, which could include anything, and then from there, I don't know, pick a topic, or again, maybe you have someone online that I talk to, or a guest Zoom or something. I don't know. Um, Actually, I got to figure out how to get someone within either YouTube or Facebook to do live chats. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it. I just haven't figured it out yet. Um, so yeah, so that's where it is. So I'm seeing that there are 3 people on, 2 of which are me, because I'm monitoring it from the YouTube thing. So to go, chat's open if you want to. At least I think it's open. Is it? Let me make sure. I am saying hi. Uh, yes, it's open. Okay, just making sure that that's actually working. So if you're on, if you want to say hi, come on, say hi, man. Chat, whatever. So I figure if I'm going to do it that way, I mean it's about 6 minutes to 10. I was trying to get this going for 9 o'clock, but I had technical difficulties, as you do for the first time. I'm just kind of saying, hey, I'm just going to do this thing without much planning, so I'm just going to throw it together, and of course that happens. But the idea is that I have some tea. If you're online and you have some tea, talk about the kind of tea that you're having. Like tonight, I have a combination of Celestial Seasonings Tension Tamer and uh, is it which one is what is the other one I got? Oh yeah, it might be. I think it's the Sleepy Time with Echinacea. So it might be one of those things where I um, drink and start to fall asleep, kind of thing. But anyway, so my day, started with work. It was pretty much a regular work type of work day. Though just the college is pretty much shut down. Everything has gone remote at this point. So not many people left apart from facilities people cleaning stuff and the IT folks, the skeleton crew, working on technical stuff. And that was my day for the most of the day. But it was today again was my last day until the new year. So technically, assuming I get through this month without catching COVID or getting sick otherwise, then I go back to work in person. I suppose I guess that depends. We'll find out. Technically, I'm supposed to be back at work on January 4th. So we'll see. So that would bring us through the Christmas and New Year's, right? So that was my last day today, and I've been counting the days off, or the days up to the point where I can get these days off. So 30 days off. It's going to be an interesting thing. I haven't had 30 days off technically since, well, not counting a surgery that I had back in 2012. where I was out for 6 weeks. I don't know if I suppose I can count that, but I mean, I was, on sick leave and, vacation time or workman's comp or whatever it is. So, I don't know if I count that really. This is an enforced thing, which, so yeah, I think before I had this job, which would have been 2002, wait, what was it? 2001? Yeah, that's right. It would have been fall 2001 is when I applied for that job, and then I started work February 15th on 2002. That's right. So yeah, so 2001 would have been the last year that the only thing I was doing was convalescing from hand surgeries and still doing open mics um, at the Custom House. And those were the sort of the heady heyday of the open mic time at that point. Um, so even though I was in a lot of pain, I would still do it. Um, so yeah, so that's that. That's kind of what's rolling around in my head for the most part. Other things rolling around in my head are that found out that some folks that well, one specific person that used to come to my open mic passed away last night. Not of COVID, of something else. Um, and she she used to come every once in a while, with a bunch of her friends and stuff. And she was kind of shy. Name was Leedy, and you know, um, we kind of had a couple of little, mini, mini dates, I suppose. She accompanied me to a wedding at one point, so that was sort of a major date, I guess. But that's all it was. But we were friends, and she was cute, and we Mark Carter and I used to try to make her laugh from the stage, and it was she was a tough cookie to crack sometimes. Well, we could get her to laugh pretty heartily, and she would try to cover her face because I don't know, I think she felt embarrassed or something about it, but we used to make her laugh. So yeah, so that's a bit of a shock. Um, and unfortunately that's been this year, hasn't it, for a lot of people. Just we're just losing people for not only COVID reasons, but just other reasons, just out of nowhere for whatever reason. So, rough kind of day in that regard. I feel bad for her family, obviously. There's a GoFundMe page on my Facebook page. There's a shared link for a GoFundMe for her end of life stuff. So go up there. And if you knew her, maybe pop in a few bucks and just to be helpful if you can. Um, Other than that, preparing for a potential snowstorm tomorrow. Apparently, a nor'easter, I guess. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of inches from what I've seen. So, but it'll be the first significant snowstorm or snow we've had in a while. So that's happening tomorrow. What else happened today? The House decriminalized marijuana or cannabis today. That's a first. So that's just definitely a step in the right direction, right? The next thing we've got to do is we've got to get McConnell to get the fuck out of that job or pull him out of that job, because he's the one thing that's in the way of everything moving forward. How can one person have that much power? I mean, he's not a king. Yeah, he is a senator who just happens to be the Senate majority leader, so can do what he wants. As far as I'm concerned, he has abandoned his duty as a senator to do that job. He's not allowing any votes from anything, from anybody, unless they're Republican. So he is purposefully hurting people. So he needs to go away as soon as possible. And, I hate feeling like being pushed into the corner of like, well, how do we get rid of him? It's like a lot of different ways to get rid of a guy. Just saying. I don't advocate it. I certainly don't. But something, there comes a point when the monster in the movie is just killing people and hurting people. What do? You don't just sort of watch the monster and go, "Ooh, that monster's really bad, boy. He really needs to go away," right? And just wag your finger at him and thinking then that's going to make the monster change their ways. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You have to sort of physically handle the monster in some way. So I think we somehow soon need to physically handle this monster some way, because clearly people didn't want to vote him out, or he, somehow got himself back in. Whatever. But that's politics. I'm sure I'll stray into politics often because I do. People who know me know that I will do that. But so other than that, I am looking forward to potentially again working on some projects that I have. An album that of songs that I wrote back in 1999. So we're talking 21 years ago now. 22. Wait, 22. Wait, 20, 99, 20. Yeah, well, almost 22 years ago now. Um, and I need to finish that shit and get it out and just get it out of my head. And definitely different frame of reference 22 years ago. It was the last project, big project. Well, not the last big project, but one of the last big projects I did before I went sober. And so I think it definitely reflects my state of mind 22 years ago. That's for sure. But I want to get it out, do some good stuff on it, and then I want to work on some new stuff and you know, yeah, see what happens. But not just musically. I want to do some other things too, like I said. But so I'll just keep doing this every night, and if people show up, great. If they don't, it's fine. I have plenty to talk to myself about. It's kind of like self therapy anyway. Um, so when all else fails, if you have no one else to talk to, go ahead and talk to yourself. Because if you can't talk to yourself, who can you talk to? Right? That's the way I look at it. So, and you got to start somewhere, right? That's what I figure. Everybody's had to start somewhere. So there have been, comedians, musicians. Have I myself for sure have more often than not played for rooms full of literally nobody. That's happened many times. Humbling experience, but anybody worth their salt will have had to have had that experience if they're going to move forward. Doesn't pay the bills, so one has to get a regular job to pay the bills. I don't know what the heck that was. Some dust. But yeah, that's that. So I don't know. Boring life, I suppose, on some levels. Like I said, I didn't have anything really planned tonight, so I'm kind of just looking at my desk. So what can I talk about? Duh. Um, so I got a new purple chair that I'm sitting on currently. The gamer's chair that I won at a virtual conference from work. So I won a chair. It's kind of nice. It's going to be interesting, especially this upcoming month, because I'll be sitting in this chair a lot. So hopefully it is ergonomically sound so that my back doesn't get horribly fucked up. But we'll see. Otherwise, talking to ghosts, pretty much. What else is there? What else was there on the docket today? This is one of those things where I have articles that I save of things that I'm reading about, and those are things that I could bring up and talk about. And I could put that in the descriptions if people are interested for specific titles, topics. So like things like I like articles on things like theoretical physics and this sort of more kind of odd. I guess they're. I don't know. I guess they're called. I guess they're still called new. I guess it would still be called New Age, kind of theory of. Are we living in a matrix, or or we're simulation, or you know, um, are is the past, the present, the future all happening at the same time? All that kind of stuff. I like kind of theoretical kinds of mind fuck arguments like that, you know, just because it's a lot more interesting than the day to day, the humdrum, you know. Um, so I don't know, you know, other than that, so I don't know. I've been on here for about 25 minutes. No one showed up. That's fine. Um, so I'll probably do like 5 more minutes and make it a nice half hour for now, and we'll go from there. So like tomorrow, same time, I'll try it either maybe on YouTube or like I said, maybe I'll try it on Facebook. Um, or you know, again, let's start looking at maybe if getting some guests to come in and talk. Um, like I'd love to get my friend Keith Munslow up here. I haven't. I mean, last time I chatted with him, we both went to go see John Cleese at the was it the Veterans? Yeah, the Veterans, right, in Providence back in. Oh, it was this year. Jesus, wow. I mean, it's in my head. It's 2 years ago. It's like wow. It was, yeah, February of this year was just before COVID started getting funky. Yeah. Uh, and that was fun, obviously. You know, I don't get to talk to my friend too often, other than us on Facebook with a comment here or there. So that'd be fun, I think, to see to get him up here and we'll chat about our lives together and our working relationship and what he's up to. And he's up to a lot. You know, he's actually he had the right mindset and the right sort of goal, sort of forward thinking throughput to do what he's doing, which is basically, you know, he's self-made. You know, he's making records and you know, doing mostly children's records, as well as, you know, doing well, again, when events get happening again, you know, um, local shows at the at AS220 Cabaret. Well, Cabaret. That's actually not called a cabaret anymore, but it's the Sparkling Beatniks. Uh, they were doing every Sunday or every first Sunday of the month at AS220. Um, so that might be fun. That'd be interesting. So anybody who's a fan of Keith Munslow and sees this, put a comment in the thing saying, "Yeah, I'd love to see that." Or I have other friends of mine that I'd love to get up here and just talk stuff about. My friend Steve Job, who we just put out a record. Matter of fact, I can show you that record. Um, Where the Fish Are. This is another one. Like we just finished it in February, just before the shit hit the fan. So, um, but yeah, so that came out, and it took us about 3 years fully. Yeah, we started in 2017 in February or March doing the first bit of string recording, and then worked through that spring, and then we had to take the summer off because I bought a house, so that took some time. So, and then we just kept going and going and going, but now that I had the house, I was able to record a lot of the stuff here. So yeah, so that's out, and he's got a band camp and all that, so I could you know, get him up here to chat or whatever. Trying to think who else. Let's see. I could get Tammy maybe up here if you wanted to come up and chat about her stuff. Tammy LaForest. Let's see who else. Who else? Well, I mean, a bunch of people, obviously. Um, just about talking about music in general and about you know, I could get you know, other members of the old Meatballs Fluxus crew potentially. You know. And that would be fun and or funny. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, thoughts, thoughts and feelings. Who knows? Just getting the shit out of my head. That mhm, mhm. Um, I got to work on my lighting. Um, I think I need to figure out what the technical issues I was having. I think I figured them out in general, but yeah, I just want to make sure that I have everything correct. But also, like I said, maybe I'll do this on Facebook tomorrow. But I will be here tomorrow night, around the same time, somewhere between 9 and 9:30 or so. I'll put up a thing, and people want to come and check it out, they can. If not, don't worry about it. I'll be doing this for the next 30 days at least. So hopefully there'll come a point where you'll think, hey, yeah, why the heck not? All right, we're counting down. 2 seconds. It's now 30 minutes in. So I'm going to shut her down for tonight as a little experiment more than anything. And I'll potentially talk to some folks maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. Tomorrow night's being today's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow Saturday night. Yeah, if anybody's interested, come on down. Come on by. Chat, whatever. Later.